Got one idea that I'm especially psyched out of my mind about. You know, it's one of those ideas where you're just like, yes!
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Dave Flynn?
On the radio.
Hold on to your butts.
Hey there, welcome to Dave Flynn on the radio, the #1 blogcast on the internet. I'm Dave Flynn, and since reading is hard, I'm going to do it for you. All right, welcome to part 4 of The Plus, our 5-part series on working with the robots, working with artificial intelligentsia. How are we doing? Is it helpful? Did you love Train Kid as much as I did? Quick professional podcaster moment. If you've missed parts 1, 2, and 3, now is a great time to go back and catch up. Learn about that Train Kid. Learn about the 9-dot test. Did you take it? Did you solve it? And learn about what these tools can do to your brain if you're not careful. But today, we keep moving forward. Today might be the one you've been waiting for, because today we get into our actual conversations with these robots. How do we get more out of them than how tall is Tom Cruise? Or why do they call it a hamburger? There's no ham. And to get more, we have to learn how to speak with them, how to talk with them, how to communicate with them. And thank God it's not like the early days of search with the Boolean strings and the exact matching tricks. We used to have to contort ourselves to get the machines to understand us. And so the conversational nature of these new robots is one of the biggest marvels of the whole damn thing. But we still have to keep them on track. Remember, they know literally everything, and they can be quite the show-off if you let them. So today, we're going to get into prompting, we'll get into vibe coding, and a few things that I've built with AI. But maybe more importantly, what's actually worth building. Sound good? Good. You can find more stories and essays like this over at winwithflynn.com. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's jump into the show. The Plus, Part 4, The Handoff. Your job is to keep diverging. The robot's job is to converge. The space between, where you take what's tangled in your human brain and hand it off as something the robots can run with, that is the prompt. And there's a popular image floating around the interwebs called the anatomy of an O1 prompt. It includes the goal, return format, warnings, context dump. Its color-coded sections provide a clean diagram. It looks kind of like a robot recipe. Templates like this are fine, but we've come a long way since O1. They're not how I prompt anymore. Not anymore. I'm a human, and I'm working to become more human all the time. What I've found after building dozens of these things is that good prompts actually get reverse engineered, not architected. You don't sit down with a blank page and a template and write the perfect prompt. You have a long, messy conversation with the AI about an actual problem. You go in circles. Eventually, you end up somewhere useful, we hope. Then you turn around and ask, if we had to have that whole conversation again, how could we shortcut it? And that is the prompt. That's the conversation distilled. How prompts get built. Fitness and finance. Fitness. The first version of my Centaur Fitness prompt was a lengthy conversation between me and Gemini. I told the AI about my current exercise plan, what I'd done in the past, who I read and admired, Greenfield, Birkin, Sisson, Patrick, McKinsey, what my goals were. I asked what the latest science had to say about these ideas. I shared what I genuinely enjoyed doing, even if it wasn't optimized. Eventually, we landed on a weekly framework that felt right. Simple, maintainable, and it was mine. Then I asked a question that turned the conversation into a tool, a prompt. If we had to do this all over again, what's the shortest interview that would have gotten us to the same place? I tested that on a few other LLMs. A good prompt will get reasonably close answers from the different robots, although they do have different personalities. The conversation with the dead ends removed becomes a prompt worth using and sharing. And that is why I share it here today on the blog. Go check it out. The header at the top is important. You are an elite health and fitness consultant. Interview me. It assigns a profile, a personality, instructions for how to run the conversation while keeping the end in mind. What's left and what guides the interview are the questions that mattered once we actually found them. In a way, I didn't write this prompt. I tested it. I edited it. I finished it. Okay, how about finance? Years ago, I built a scoring system for stocks because I'm a nerd. An idea I heard from David Gardner at Motley Fool. Then I started bolting things on. The importance of free cash flow from Bezos's early shareholder letters. Then free cash flow per share from Buffett and Munger. Then I read Chris Mayer's 100 Baggers, and it gave me the idea of twin engines, growing earnings and expanding multiples. Years of small little edits updated my thinking and gave me this scoring system. It was hardened into something I really trusted. Every quarter, I'd refresh the scores by hand, and good golly, it took a long time. I'd color code them in red, yellow, green in my Excel file and take a look which businesses were worth buying. More importantly, which businesses, no matter the turbulence, should I be holding? When a stock was in the tank and every instinct said to get the hell out, I'd look at the score and think, I'm not selling that. That's a 10-point stock. The robots didn't change that system for me, but they did automate it, and I am grateful. But the real benefit wasn't in the speed. It was a very cool upgrade that I hadn't been able to crack on my own. Why couldn't I crack it? Math. Yeah, math. 10-point stock, well, that's a great business, but what should I pay for it? Price is important. Charlie Munger said, it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. But my system, well, it only covered the wonderful company bit. I'd spent years hacking together formulas to try and find a price, a value I believed in. But again, math is hard for us divergent types. Less hard with a convergent robot friend sitting next to you. I wanted to take an industry standard, estimate the discount future cash flows, and then apply a margin of safety based on my scoring system. A 10-point business earns a bit more wiggle room than a 7-point business, as they should. The quality score isn't just a conviction rating anymore. It's also a dial that shows me how much I'm willing to pay for it. The fitness prompt, I might not touch that again for a year. We'll see how fluffy I get. But the stocks, I run that one every quarter on every position I own. Different jobs get a different cadence, but they both require the plus. They're better together. What makes a good prompt? After building a bunch of these, fitness, stocks, an editor for my writing, a coach prompt for my baseball players' swings. Yes, the robots can see video now. A cover art prompt for the blogcast. A few patterns hold up. Number 1, light beats heavy. Code can be heavy or light. Prompts are the same way. A bloated prompt with 12 sections of preamble doesn't outperform a tight prompt that names what matters and gets out of the way. It just uses more tokens, runs slower, and gives the AI more ways to misinterpret. The best prompts I have are very direct. Number 2, interview first, output later. The fitness prompt is a good example of that. It puts the AI in ask mode before answer mode. And for me, the interview one question at a time, it's going to pull more out of me. It surfaces injuries or habits or desires. It connects ideas from the gurus that you read to the science that maybe you don't, to the goal you've been thinking about but hadn't put into words. Number 3, constrain the output. Give me a 7-day grid, 1 line per day. Now that is a constraint. Constraints save you from the LLM's natural urge to overproduce, to over-explain. Without a constraint, the AI gives you a lot of wind. Like I said, they know everything, so they can go on for quite some time. And number 4, forbid the BS. The most important don't do this clause has nothing to do with the task at hand. It has to do with how the AI talks to you. By default, LLMs are catastrophically agreeable. Great question. Absolutely. That's an interesting point. They tell you your idea is brilliant and your draft is great and your business plan has legs and your novel is going to sell. They flatter your premise before answering. And the worst of them walk back their opinions the moment you push on them. It is super annoying. So tell the AI to knock it off before they even start. No great question. No, that's a fascinating perspective. Lead with the strongest counter argument. And if I'm wrong, tell me. That language gets you an honest read. You stop having to filter compliments and wade through all the BS to get your answer. And this is why I keep using a tool called Lex for my writing, even though it doesn't always run on the latest models. The team that built Lex built it and tuned the personality hard. Lex is mean as hell, but in a useful way. It pushes back on my weak sentences. It tells me when something is repetitive or unoriginal. That one really hurts. It makes me doubt my own work in the places that I should be doubting it. It is an editor. Okay, when prompts fail. The fitness and the stock prompts work because the answer is out there, but it's only yours once you put yourself into it. The machine brings the rigor and you bring the taste. You bring your perspective, your goals, and your influences. Every week, I record the audio version of my blog. That's what I'm doing now. We call it a blogcast around here. Like and subscribe. The intro needs to set the piece up. A hook, a frame, a reason the listener should lean in. I built a prompt for it, of course, and it's got a decent structure, a clear ask. I use examples from intros I've written before. But when I run it, the AI gives me something, well, it matches the post, but is a match what we really want? A post about freedom gets an intro about the feeling of freedom. A post about decision-making gets an intro about the weight of hard choice. It's coherent and it's on topic and it's a little bit stale. The good intros, the ones I use more often, the ones I write myself, humble brag, pull from outside of the post. A book I was reading that week, a movie I half remember, a conversation with one of my kids, an old quote that surfaces as I start recording, a connection the post never makes explicit but quietly suggests, additive rather than repetitive. That is the divergent move, very human of me. The AI is very, very good at understanding the post. What I want is what's next to the post, what associates, what rhymes, what surfaces when a writer's mind drifts away from the assignment for, 30 seconds or so. And the robots at this point still need us humans for that. Thank your lucky stars. Some jobs are plus jobs, and some jobs the human still does alone. Vibe coding. I know I have a website, so you'd think I was technical, but it's just not so. That said, I am now a coder. And I have Riplet and Grok and Claude to thank. These services can vibe code for you. Just give them prompts, tell them what you'd like to build, and the little robots go to work. I've built a few websites that are in beta right now, and they might be forever. You can go to winwithflynn.com to check them out. Here are a few. TempRx is a sauna calculator and cold plunge calculator. I think it's rad. The next one, Can I Retire? It's a retirement calculator. I know there's millions of those out there, and that's frustrating for me because they all suck, but not this one. Flow Finder is a Pomodoro timer. I use it nearly every day. You should as well. And I'm working on a Tabata timer for my workouts. I'm working on a breathwork coach. And the big one I'm working on, Hello Ratio, a measure of your city's friendliness. That one hopefully is launching soon, like the book. Okay, they start here, and if they earn it, they migrate to their own homes, run ads on them, and make dozens and dozens of dollars. But mostly, it's just fun to make stuff. You can build just about anything you want. With a place to host the code, a website, you've got your own personal app store, a Swiss Army knife of tools customized for you. I'm pointing at you via audio, and it's shareable with the world. I'm not running some frontier lab, and that's cool. I don't have $1 billion budget. Less cool. Or 1,000 engineers. I'm good with that. But the same flywheel is available to me, little old me, and to you on a smaller scale. I had an idea on Tuesday. Wednesday, I had a working app. That doesn't fit any software development timeline of the past. It only makes sense because I got a robot, the equivalent of a lot of robots, really, a whole development team writing code for me. Suck it, CS grads. But building a site, thinking of an idea, well, that's the easy part. Keeping it going, executing on a vision, it takes some work, man. It takes some plus. So TempRx and Can I Retire both graduated from this site to their own sites. And they both have content associated with those sites now. But I let the robots write that content. The posts, the city guides, the scenarios, that is all AI over there. And guess what? It kind of shows. There's no plus. Can I Retire's calculator? That one I designed myself. I kind of felt like most of the calculators online were really annoying and bad. I argued with the robots about that, over the assumptions they made and the outputs. So that tool has my fingerprints on it, and I think it holds up. The posts that came after, I handed that over completely. I didn't want to write those, and that is a signal. Same story with TempRx, the directory on that website. I like the idea, a real resource of the best saunas and cold plunges in the world, city by city. But using the robots, I think that directory only comes to life if it's curated, not aggregated, by someone who actually got in the water. A good product is one you want to keep showing up for, one that has meaning. If you're willing to hand off 100% of the project to AI, well, that's a clue. If it lacks meaning to you, my hunch is it's going to lack meaning to everyone else as well. The robots can ship the app in a day, but they can't make you care about it in 6 months. The handoff requires the plus. There we have it. That's the pod. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please share it with a friend. Give it a thumbs up. And if you've got a few extra seconds, give it a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you are listening. The engagement will make you feel so good, and it'll help other people find the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
All right, there you go, America. I love you. I'm proud of you. I mean it.
You gotta go.
We gotta go. This is great.